When I think of my mom, I get this warm feeling inside. I remember being on the bed and she tickled me and I laughed so much because I loved it. I remember her warm hugs. Whenever she hugged me, she told me how much she loved me. I'll never forget that. So when I think of my mom, I think of these warm feelings. I also remember when I was a teenager, I told her everything. I told her when I had my first kiss. I told her all of my joys, and I told her all of my fears. I never had this relationship with my dad. My dad was a successful businessman, and he was a pillar of the community. He had a gentle demeanor for the most part, unless anger came into play. I remember when the stereo broke. I put the record on the turntable, and the turntable wouldn't move. I immediately went to my mom and sister, and I told them what happened. We knew we couldn't tell my dad. We had to keep this a secret. He could never know that the stereo broke. A few weeks later, though, my dad learned the truth. He immediately went to get some tools to fix the stereo. And at first we heard him mumbling slowly and then yelling and screaming, and before you know it, the stereo was in pieces. I remember my mom's face drop when she realized that he broke her favorite record, Rhapsody in Blue. The screaming and the breaking scared me to my core. I remember running out of the house with Yummy, my favorite teddy bear, and I stood outside and I was so scared and I didn't want to come in the house. My mom came out the kitchen door and she said, "What are you doing out here?" And I said, "I'm not coming back till Dad stops screaming." I was so scared and so much fear. I remember going to the grocery store with my then husband of 20 years. And what I always did was I looked around the store and I did price comparisons, quality comparisons on items, especially those that were really expensive. And I remember going around there, and I remember he always told me that I was taking too long. "What's wrong with you? Why are you taking so long? Are you stupid? You can't read?" Then I realized, it took me a long time to realize that I transferred the fear that I had for my dad to my ex-husband. Then I realized that anger was something I was always afraid of. As a child, as an adult, instead of facing anger, I ran away from it. I hid. I pretended it never happened. And I realized I couldn't keep doing that anymore. I had 2 girls at home. I needed to be a role model to them. I needed to show them, how do we handle anger? What is the way that we handle anger that is positive, that's healthy, that we don't run away from it? We actually have a chance to speak our truth. So that's when I realized that I needed to do something different. Then I came up with this approach. Along with some self-discovery and therapy, I came up with the approach of taking a deep breath, relaxing my shoulders, and giving myself a chance to actually come up with a response. So whenever I was in a situation that somebody said something to me that was angry or hostile, instead of running away, I would do that. I would take a deep breath and I'd come up with a response that spoke my truth, come up with a response that I felt good about, come up with a response that allowed me to be me. I call that approach the Yummy truth. Just as Yummy kept me warm and secure when I was so scared, the Yummy truth gives me the chance to do that as well. It makes me feel safe and secure. I know I can do what I need to do and still be myself. And I could give that to my girls. I could give that to everyone. The Yummy truth is there to help, to be strong and to be what I needed to be. So my gift to you today is to give you that Yummy truth, to give you that chance to be who you are, to speak your truth without fear of retribution. We can always make a connection with people instead of building walls. Thank you.